Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be starting my March page 3 for Roxy's Journal of Stitchery today. And our prompts for March are antique and reclaimed fabrics and a bright butterfly. Okay, so I've written that in my little notebook so I keep track of everything. And let's have a look. And what day are we on? We're on Tuesday. I'm a bit late this week. I've had a very busy last few days. So that's all stitched in. So we want the next piece, which is this one. Okay, and it's on the left-hand side, so I'll just keep that in mind. So antique and reclaimed fabrics, and it's just the background we're doing today. I'm going to try and keep it perhaps a little less fussy because there's a lot of stitching when things get a bit fussy. So antique and reclaimed fabrics. Let me just move I've got my journal stuff here. Got little piles going. Okay, and then I've got my box of goodies. Here for the Journal of Stitchery. And I kind of wanted to change the colours up a little bit this time around. I've got a lot of pink going, but I do like pink when it comes to stitching and things like that. Okay, so reclaimed. Now, do you remember I cut that piece to use on another piece, my rabbit bunny page, and I never did. So maybe we can use that because it's beautiful, isn't it? It's really beautiful, and it is an old piece, probably off a tablecloth or a pillowcase, so it's definitely reclaimed. What have we got here? Another bit of doily that's been cut right in the middle. I don't know. I do have a bit of probably tea towel, I guess. It's really pretty, isn't it? That we could use. What else? Got a bit of that. I don't know. I did pull out a tablecloth that I thought I might have a look at. Actually, I pulled two out, and one I just can't cut. You know, it's got a few stains on it, but I'm just not up to cutting it yet. Isn't it funny how we go to the thrift shops or the op shops and we intentionally buy something to cut up, knowing that it's a bit stained or it might have some little holes on it, and then when we come to cut it up, it's like, oh, you know, it's so pretty. So I grabbed another one that's not quite as pretty, and this is an old tablecloth, and you can see the pulled thread work, how it's just all deteriorated around there. It's like that in spots around it, and it's also got some marks on it as well, and I think there's a couple of little holes in it, but I thought the colours would be good because they're not too pink, but I just needed to work it out size wise. That's quite a big image for a small piece, isn't it? Mind you, it's not too bad. Not too bad at all, really. You can see that through it. It doesn't take it all up, and I can still perhaps put that on there as well, which would be nice to use since I've already cut it. And then some sort of butterfly up the top. And I can, because I'm not overly keen on the peachy colour. I'm not really, like I don't go in for those autumn colours that much. I could stitch over that if I wanted to and change the colour up a little bit on that flower there. That could work. But I like the blues in it because I am I like blue. So I think that's what I might do. And I'm just going to kind of, because that's in the center. It's got a smaller image on the corner, but it's not as, it's not as quite as colorful as that one and not as big. So what I might do is just put a couple of marks approximating where I'm going to, rip it up like that. Do we want to, we'll take it all the way to the top like that. So what I could do is I'm just going to put a snip below that line there, one there, and one about there. See if it, yeah, it's going to rip quite easily. Let's hope it rips nice and straight. There we go, and about there, I think. I'm going to have to help it over those bits there. Perhaps I'll just like that, okay. Okay, we'll see how that goes. And now that I've cut one piece out of that, I'll have no problem using it at all. Isn't it funny though? You buy it for the sole purpose of doing that and then you hesitate when it comes time to do it. Okay, I wonder if... Okay, that's fine. There we go. All right, where's our piece? I'm going to cut around that, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut around... Alright. I'm going to cut around it and then I'll be back. Okay, let's see, I've just put a little border around that and I'm putting that on like that. I still want this, so we'll put that there. Could have left it a bit higher there, couldn't I? Might you? Maybe. Lift it up a bit. That's still room for a butterfly at the top, floating around in the sky. Could use that. No. I like that, but it's very pale. I know I've got ticking, so, and I think ticking will go quite nicely. Oh, I've got green here. A bit of green fabric. Oh, sorry. Maybe I can use a bit down the bottom there. Under or over? Maybe under. Let's just get that straight, Tish. Whether that I don't think that was much straight. I'm just going to cut it a little bit bigger than I need because, you know, there we go. Leave those ones out. Room. Okay, so that just something else. Maybe something blue, seeing as that looks like it's going to be the sky. I'll just see what I've got here. Ooh, what's that? That's nice, isn't it? I've got bits of ticking, say. Bits of ticking. This is off a pillowcase. Have I used this already? Looks familiar. Oh, I've used that on my title page. Okay. Which doesn't really matter, but I would have liked something a bit. Maybe I can use a bit of it. That's a scrap that was left. Oh, I know what I could do. Perhaps. Alright. I don't know. Just don't know. I don't want the background so vibrant that you don't end up seeing the butterfly. I like that. It doesn't have to be a big butterfly. Nobody said anything about a big butterfly. Oh, that's too hard to cut. Rip. I like the top like that. Make sure we get this one the right way. There. Like that. And this. Kind of like that. Like that. I may iron this onto some of that bonded stuff this time around, I think, and that way you won't see the background through it. So that's what I'm thinking. That, well, that could kind of go over the top like that, maybe. Yeah. Actually, you know what I could do? I could just that under there like that. Nope, that's, I don't know. No, that was right. Okay, so that under there, like that. And maybe a bit of lace down the bottom. Some pretty lace. Not a new lace though. Preferably, I'm thinking, lace from an old doily. That would work. Or I've got, remember that one I showed you at the beginning? I've got that lace. It's like a pantaloon or something lace. But I would have liked a loose lace, I think. So just it's not doily lace. Let me find some doily lace. Okay, so I've been rummaging around in my drawer, my doily drawers, and I found two. I've got this one that has had a piece cut off it before. It's got this really pretty Battenberg lace on it, so that could work. A little bit of that down the bottom could work because we've got lighter colours here. But I also found this little doily, and this one has butterflies on it. See the little butterflies there? I could use that. So I'm going to have a little play and see if I can get this to work. Might not. So what I think I will do is just cut around the top of the butterflies there. And down like that. And like, it might not. I don't think I like that. But what I will do is just cut that off around there. Set my butterflies aside, and I can always just put a bit of this. Do I want it going up a bit? Like that. I quite like that. I do. And I don't know if I'll use these or not. I don't know what I'm going to do for my butterfly yet. Just let me cut one out. Okay, needs a bit of a press. It could be used on the actual, though I think that comes in composition. We're only meant to be doing the background this week, but I don't think it matters if you get an idea just to go ahead, because I'm bound to forget. Although it's only 2 days until the next one comes out anyway, so but I wouldn't count these as my bright butterfly. I don't know what that's going to be just yet. So they can be accessory butterflies, perhaps, like that. Yeah, and then leave that part there for my brighter butterfly, so it will stand out on that fabric more. Ooh, I hope. Right. I think that's it. I think that's what's going to be my background now. I will iron that little flower image. Oh no. What I need to do is just, I don't need that double layered. Okay, so more like that. Perhaps that gives me a bit more room up there. This goes under like that. It can come up a bit more, I think. Like that. Like that. And like that. Yeah. Even the lace could be part of composition, I guess. So we take that off, that off, that off. Put those to the side, and that's my background. Okay, so I need to iron that onto some of the bonding stuff and go and tack it all on, or I don't usually tack. I use the invisible stitch to keep it all in place, and then I'll be back. So I just realized something as I was pinning this on, and that is that the ticking is not old. It's not reclaimed. It's just ticking fabric that I have purchased a few years ago. So it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to change it because the whole idea for me is to follow the prompts that they give each week. So what I've got here is an old tea towel. It's from Romania, I think. It's a vintage, lovely linen tea towel. What I'm going to do to mimic the effect of the ticking is I'm just going to cut some pieces off, and hopefully that will, you know, do the job. Maybe there. Oh, the only thing with ripping sometimes is it sometimes gets it so it's not very straight. Now that has a fold over there. I'm going to cut that off as well because it makes it too thick, and I think I'll just cut that so it doesn't curl too much, and then I'll fray it off a bit. And I'll use that other bit of ticking somewhere else down the track. I'll just cut that top piece off and cut that in half, like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see how that goes. We'll put that like that, and then that one like It's not very straight, is it? Oh my goodness. It's a bit better. Okay, so I can do that. I can even just leave it over, move it over to there. And it gives that impression, doesn't it? Of the blue ticking that I had. I'm going to have to try and keep those lines straight though, aren't I? I'll have to work on that when I'm using the French saying, goodness me, the invisible stitch. So that will now go like that. So it still gives me that whole look that I'm after. Could actually move that up a bit. Yeah, I think that will work fine. And like that. You know, I think I'm going to have to, maybe I'll have to cut a thicker piece of that as well. Gosh, I'm making a lot of work. I was wanting to keep it easy this time around. I don't know what happened. I've lost the green fabric. Where is it? Shouldn't be hard to find. It's quite bright. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to find the green fabric and put a bigger strip down the bottom there. And, oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. There we go. Yeah, I can just use that little bit there. Across there. Might not need that much. It's okay. Okay, let's have a look. And just like I used that this week, I can use this one further down the track as well. I just want that under there, I think, coming right down to the bottom. Like that. Yeah, and that will give a nice effect for the lace down the bottom as well. Alright, I'm going to stick with that. Let me just pin that on. That way I know what I'm doing. Yeah. That needs backing still. And this tea towel is lovely and soft. Just looking in my viewfinder to make sure that this and this are fairly even. Because the old linens and things, they do warp over time from being ironed and things like that. I think that's fairly straight. And then that one. Does that look straight? That part there is going in a bit, but that flower will cover that, I think. So every time I touch it, it moves anyway. Oh my. We'll work it out, hopefully. Hopefully it'll be all right in the end. How's that? I think. seems to be going in a bit here. What's that? That looks a bit better, doesn't it? Okay. That's the thing with stripes. What's that? Yeah, that's not bad at all. Oh, that was terribly crooked, wasn't it? Right, like that. And I will just like that and stitch that on back this, and then I will stitch that on like that. I will probably, like, I want to put my butterflies, and I think that's okay this week too, because although next week is composition, I think I might be concentrating more on what I want to do with my butterfly, because I haven't really put any thought of that. I know it has to be bright, like it's not going to be ultra bright, but you know, using colours that I've used here perhaps in that space there. Maybe I can jazz these two up a little bit with some stitching. We'll see. But I'll be stitching all that, and then I'll come back and show you. So I have finished that. I did have to change the lace up. Instead of going up that way, it's going up that way, and that's simply because the page is on the left hand side. The book wouldn't be able to shut properly if I'd have put the lace up that side, so I've just curled it over on that edge. I used the bonding material for that doily. It is still a little bit see-through, but it's not too bad. And I've done a blanket stitch around this one. I've used the overcast in the last couple of pages, and so I decided to change it up and use blanket stitch going around my applique piece there. I've just done the invisible stitch all over the back there to hold everything in place. I could go ahead and put the butterflies on. I have given them a slight press, but I'm thinking I may wait until next week with the composition and to see what I'm doing with my bright butterfly, and then decide where I will put these. I may not use them over there. You know, I could be using them like that and putting a butterfly there. I just don't know yet, so I'm holding off on those. I think I'll pin them to my pin cushion over here so I don't lose them. And I haven't done any stitching on the background as yet, because I want to wait until I know where everything's going first. I think I will definitely use some sort of blue thread and do some stitches going up here, but I'll wait and see where my bright butterfly is going first, so that I'm just doing stitching where I can see it, basically, just to save a little bit of time. Although I do enjoy stitching, I'm kind of busy at the moment, so I don't want to be doing too much things that aren't necessary. I do plan on doing some embroidery down the bottom here. I think that will be quite lovely, and beading. And like I said, doing something with centers of these flowers as well. And I may do some seed stitching around this one, this applique piece. So, but that's my background piece for March, page 3 of Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. Still really enjoying this project. I like the way that's turned out. The colours are brighter this week, so it's changing it up a little bit. Yeah. So it shouldn't be too long, and I'll be back because the week's almost up anyway. So thank you so much for watching. I'll put the links in the description box below to the ladies hosting this lovely project, which is Rachel, Sarah and their mother. And I hope you take care. Bye.